Have you ever noticed how you can accomplish a lot and still feel like it is not enough? Have you ever noticed how you can be kind to everyone else but hesitate to be kind to yourself? Welcome back to the channel. I am really glad you are here. Today we are going to hold to truths at the same time. First, self-love is not a personality trait that you either have or do not have. It is a trainable relationship with your own mind and body. Second, healing your worth is not about forcing confidence. It is about gently releasing the inner habit of self-rejection and building a steady inner refuge through repetition, compassion, and clear seeing. Take a slow breath in. Take a slow breath out. If you can, let the exhale be a little longer. Feel the support under you. The chair, the bed, the floor, the ground. Let your body receive that support. You do not have to hold everything alone in this moment. A lot of people think self-love means looking in the mirror and saying strong sentences until they believe them. Sometimes that helps. But for many people, the real struggle is not in the mirror. The real struggle is in the quiet moments. When you fail at something. When someone looks away. When you feel lonely. When you remember an old mistake. When you compare yourself to someone else. When your body feels tired. When your brain feels noisy. When you cannot stop thinking about what you should have done. That is when worth gets tested. That is when the old inner voice shows up. The voice that says you are behind. You are too much. You are not enough. You are not safe. You are not chosen. You must prove yourself. You must earn rest. You must earn kindness. So this journey is not about decorating that voice with pretty words. This journey is about meeting that voice with wisdom and compassion, so it stops running your life. Let me tell you a story. Imagine a young traveler walking through a long market street at dusk. The market is loud. People are bargaining. Music is playing. Lights flicker in windows. The traveler carries a small basket. Inside the basket are coins given by different people along the way. Each coin has a message stamped on it. One coin says achieve more. One coin says be perfect. One coin says do not be needy. One coin says do not make mistakes. One coin says be useful. One coin says stay small. One coin says be impressive. The traveler did not choose these coins carefully. The traveler accepted them whenever someone offered approval. A teacher praised them only when they performed. A friend liked them only when they were entertaining. A family member noticed them only when they succeeded. A stranger valued them only when they were helpful. So the traveler learned a rule. I must pay. Pay with effort. Pay with performance. Pay with silence. Pay with people-pleasing. Pay with overthinking. Pay with overworking. Pay with pretending. The traveler keeps walking and keeps paying. And at first it works. People smile. People approve. Doors open. The traveler feels a quick relief. But the relief fades fast. Because the rule never ends. The traveler must pay again tomorrow. One night the traveler stops at a quiet corner of the street where the noise fades. They sit down and look into the basket. They notice their hand is cramped from gripping the handle. They notice their shoulders are tight. They notice their stomach is tense. They notice they are tired. Not only tired in the body but tired in the soul. And for the first time they ask a new question. What if my worth is not something I buy with coins? That question is the beginning of self-love. Not a slogan, a shift. Because when you realize your worth is not something you buy, you start looking for a different source. Not a source outside you. A source inside you. A source that does not disappear when someone is disappointed. A source that does not vanish when you make a mistake. A source that does not require you to perform to deserve rest. So today we build that source. Slowly. Return to the body. Notice the face. Is the jaw tight? Is the forehead tense? Are the eyes strained? Let the face soften 1%. 1% is enough. 1% is a new pattern. Notice the shoulders. Are they lifted as if bracing? Let them drop 1%. Notice the hands. Are they gripping? Let them loosen 1%. Notice the belly. Many people do not realize how often they hold the belly tight. Softening the belly can feel vulnerable. And that vulnerability is exactly why it matters. A soft belly tells the nervous system, we are safe enough to rest. Now notice the breath again. Inhale naturally. Exhale slowly. If thoughts appear, do not fight them. Fighting is another way of saying I am not allowed to be human. Instead, name the thought softly, thinking, remembering, judging. Then return to the breath. Return to the body. Return to support. This return is not small. It is the foundation of worth, because every time you return, you are telling yourself, I am worth coming back to. Now I want to speak about a painful truth. Many people do not struggle with self-love because they are lazy. They struggle because they learned self-rejection as a survival skill. Maybe you learned that being hard on yourself kept you safe from criticism. Maybe you learned that if you punished yourself first, nobody else could hurt you as much. Maybe you learned that being perfect was the price of belonging. Maybe you learned that needing comfort was dangerous. Maybe you learned that the world responds better when you are useful, quiet, and smiling. If any of that is true, then self-love can feel unfamiliar. It can feel suspicious. The mind might say, if I relax, something bad will happen. If I accept myself, I will stop improving. If I treat myself kindly, I will become weak. So we answer those fears with wisdom. Self-love is not complacency. It is the soil where real growth can happen. Harshness can push you, but it also breaks you. Kindness supports you, and support creates stability. Stability creates clarity. Clarity creates better choices. Better choices create better outcomes. This is cause and effect in a simple chain. When you change the inner cause, the outer effect changes over time. Now let us do a practice that is both gentle and powerful. Bring to mind a version of you that felt unworthy. Not the most painful memory. Something manageable. Maybe a time you felt rejected. Maybe a time you felt embarrassed. Maybe a time you felt you were not enough. Now notice where that feeling lies in the body. Maybe the chest tightens. Maybe the throat closes. Maybe the stomach drops. Maybe the shoulders rise. Just notice. Now place a hand on the chest or belly, if that feels comfortable. Feel warmth. Feel contact. This is a simple act of care. You are not trying to force emotion. You are offering presence. Now say silently, slowly, this is hard. I am here. I will not abandon myself. Notice what happens. Even if nothing dramatic happens, you are creating a new inner pattern. You are teaching your nervous system that pain does not have to equal loneliness. Now, the next part of self-love is forgiving the way you had to survive. A lot of people carry shame for their coping habits. They shame themselves for being anxious. They shame themselves for people-pleasing. They shame themselves for overthinking. They shame themselves for shutting down. They shame themselves for staying too long. They shame themselves for leaving too early. But shame is not a good teacher. Shame makes the mind hide. Shame makes the body brace. Shame keeps the wound alive. So self-love begins with a sentence many people need to repeat for a long time. I can learn without cruelty. Say it silently now. I can learn without cruelty. If your mind argues, that is normal. The mind might say, cruelty is how I stay disciplined. But ask yourself honestly, has cruelty made you peaceful? Has cruelty made you free? Or has it made you tired? Learning without cruelty is not lowering standards. It is changing the method. It is choosing a method that does not destroy you. Now let me tell you another story. One that shows how self-love becomes real in daily life. Imagine a person named Jordan. Jordan is not weak. Jordan works hard. Jordan shows up. Jordan helps people. Jordan tries to be responsible. But inside, Jordan never feels settled. Every achievement becomes a new demand. Every compliment becomes a new pressure. Every mistake becomes a sentence in an inner court. One day Jordan has a small failure. Nothing catastrophic. Just a moment where something does not work out. And the inner voice wakes up like a judge pounding a gavel. It says, "See, you are not good enough." It says, "You should have known." It says, "You always ruin things." It says, "You cannot relax. You must fix this now." Jordan feels the familiar squeeze in the chest, the familiar heat in the face, the familiar urge to overthink all night. But Jordan has learned one small practice. When the judge appears, Jordan pauses. Jordan breathes out slowly. Jordan puts one hand on the chest and says, "I can learn without cruelty." At first it feels fake. The judge laughs. The judge says, "Nice words will not save you." Jordan does not argue with the judge. Jordan returns to the body. Jordan feels the feet on the ground. Jordan relaxes the jaw 1%. Jordan drinks water. Jordan takes a warm shower. Jordan writes one honest sentence about what went wrong and one lesson to carry forward. Then Jordan chooses sleep. Nothing magical happens in one night, but something important happens. Jordan stops feeding the judge. Jordan stops paying with inner violence. The next time the judge appears, Jordan recognizes it faster. Jordan pauses faster. Jordan breathes faster. The spiral shortens. Weeks later the judge is still there sometimes, but it is not running the whole day. Jordan begins to feel a new sensation, a quiet loyalty toward the self. The feeling is not excitement. It is safety. That is self-love. Not a performance, a loyalty. Now let us bring this to you. Self-love is built through small loyal action. Small loyal actions are things like eating when you are hungry, not when you feel you earned it. Small loyal actions are things like resting when you are tired, not when you feel you deserve it. Small loyal actions are things like saying no when you feel unsafe, even if someone might be disappointed. Small loyal actions are things like stopping the replay at night, choosing to soothe the body instead. Small loyal actions are things like speaking to yourself with basic respect, especially when you are embarrassed. These actions are seeds. Seeds become pattern. Patterns become your life. Now, some of you might be thinking, "But I do not feel love for myself." That is okay. You do not need to feel love to practice loving actions. The feeling often follows the action. In fact, for many people, the feeling shows up as calm first, not as joy. It shows up as less self-attack. It shows up as more neutral. And neutrality can be sacred when you have lived in inner war for a long time. So do not chase a big emotional moment. Practice the small loyal step. Now let us do a longer gentle self-love phrase flow. You can repeat silently, or just listen. May I be safe. May I be at ease. May I be kind to myself. May I respect my own life. May I learn without cruelty. May I forgive my imperfect past. May I rest without guilt. May I trust that I can grow with gentleness. Now pause. Feel the body again. Feel support again. Feel breath again. Now, self-love also includes boundaries with your own mind, because the mind sometimes tries to drag you back into old stories. It tries to reopen cases. It tries to replay. It tries to prove. It tries to predict. So you set a boundary. Not harsh, clear. Not tonight. Not now. This is a thought, not a command. Then you return to breath. Return to weight. Return to sensation. This is how you stop being bullied by your own mind. Now, I want to talk about worth as something that does not depend on mood. This matters because many people only feel worthy when they feel confident. When confidence drops, worth drops. But worth is not a mood. Worth is a basic truth. You are worthy because you exist. You are worthy because you are alive. You are worthy because you can feel. You are worthy because you are human. This is not arrogance. It is realism. You do not tell a child they must earn the right to be cared for. You do not tell a sick friend they must be perfect to deserve support. So why do you tell yourself that? Self-love is ending that double standard. Now let us bring in compassion for the parts of you that feel unlovable. There may be a part of you that feels too emotional, a part that feels too sensitive, a part that feels too needy, a part that feels too angry, a part that feels too quiet, a part that feels too different, a part that feels too much. Often those parts were shamed early. So they hide, they protect, they act out, they sabotage. Not because they are evil, but because they are scared. So self-love is not only loving the parts of you that look good, it is loving the parts of you that were rejected. You do this by meeting them with curiosity instead of judgment. When a part of you panics, you say, "I see you." When a part of you withdraws, you say, "I see you." When a part of you feels ashamed, you say, "I see you." Then you offer one kind sentence, "I am here." This is how you become your own safe adult. Now, here is a daily life scenario that many people recognize. You open your phone. You see someone who seems happier, more successful, more attractive, more loved. The mind compares instantly. The chest tightens. The worth drops. In that moment, self-love is not forcing a happy face. Self-love is interrupting the comparison loop. You say, "Comparing." Then you breathe out slowly. Then you return to your values. What do I value today? Then you choose one small action that supports your life. The comparison loop is a thief. It steals your attention from the only life you can live, your own. Self-love is protecting your attention. Now another scenario. Someone disappoints you. They do not respond. They do not choose you. They do not show up. The old wound flares. The mind says, "This means you are not worthy." Self-love is separating the event from your worth. You say, "This hurts, and my worth is not on trial." Then you regulate. Slow exhale. Soft jaw. Feel feet. Then you choose a dignified action. Maybe you set a boundary. Maybe you step back. Maybe you ask for clarity. Maybe you move on. Self-love is dignity in action. Now another scenario. You make a mistake. The inner judge wakes up. You want to punish yourself all night. Self-love is remembering the one sentence, "I can learn without cruelty." Then you take one practical step to learn. Then you rest. Rest is not avoidance. Rest is recovery. Recovery makes wisdom possible. Now, as we move toward the closing, I want you to notice something. If self-love has been hard for you, it is not because you are incapable. It is because you were trained in a different direction. And training can change. This is why practice matters. The nervous system does not change because you insult it. It changes because you give it steady signals of safety and care. So tonight, or today, let your practice be small and real. One slow exhale, one soft jaw, one hand on the chest, one kind sentence, one boundary, one choice of rest, one step toward your own life. Now take a slow breath in. Take a slow breath out. Feel the support beneath you. Now offer a closing phrase. May I be loyal to myself. May I be kind to myself. May I trust that small steps change my life. May I heal and embrace my worth. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this helped you, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment with the one sentence that felt most true for you today. And share your story too. What does self-love look like in your real life when nobody is watching? Your words might help someone else who is learning to set down old coins and stop paying for love with suffering. Until next time, take care.